G'day and welcome to another massive edition of the Ballarat Football Netball League A-Grade Netball Show. All thanks to our friends at McDonald's. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Grace. Fantastic round of netball we just had.
Yeah, excellent round of netball, and considering the conditions, it's good to see some high scores out there despite, like I said, poor conditions. Yeah,
exactly. Mother Nature certainly gave us a great insight of what was happening in her world. But let's turn our attention to Sunday first. We did have a couple of junior teams head down to Melbourne to take part in some great netball action.
Yeah, so we had our association championship finals. So our under-13s and under-17s obviously won through about a month ago in Ballarat, and they come up against some of the best in the state on Sunday, and unfortunately they didn't get the job done. They played really well and got a couple of solid wins on the board, but didn't quite qualify for the finals.
And it was the weather that had a little bit of an impact on the day, because we couldn't see games take place on the outdoor courts.
Yeah, so they originally had matches across the indoor courts and the outdoor courts, and once we got there on Sunday, they rescheduled the fixtures and did a bit of a shuffle around and made it an indoor competition, which meant it was the best at the top of the pools that went through instead of just the best over the course of the day. So unfortunately we lost early matches, and that was probably our downfall. Yeah,
it was a good effort there by the girls. I know the under-17s, they were going with a little bit of confidence. The under-13s have been in some great form as of late, which we spoke about last week. Unfortunately, at one stage they did go down 1-3, and their finals hopes were sort of slipping away there. But the competition was fantastic right across the board, and no doubt a great challenge and great experience for the girls.
Yeah, it certainly is great experience. It's always good coming up against some of the best in the state, and those girls have done a lot of preparation and done a lot of work behind the scenes to get to where they have. So all credit to our coaches, Prue and George in the senior or under-17 girls, and Kelly and Bree in the under-13s to get them to where they were.
Yeah, magnificent performance, and we know those girls are going to continue on with their great dominance in their club level, and some are still playing at the representative level as well, which is a great sign. Speaking of great sign, it's turning our attention to back home now, and the A-grade netball, we follow up with Bacchus Marsh enjoying a great win over Redan.
Yeah, Bacchus Marsh were big winners over Redan. We did say it was a bit of a crossroads for both of these teams, and for Bacchus Marsh to come out on top, that really paves the way for the rest of their season. Linda Powell's obviously been instrumental over a lot of years at Bacchus Marsh, and she was named in the best again on the weekend, but they're obviously pulling everything together across the court when they need to.
Should we be a bit concerned about how Redan are going, because they're not starting to get the wins on the board, which we were hoping and somewhat expecting they would?
Yeah, they came out firing at the start of the season. We knew that they had a new group together for their A-grade this year, still under Kate McMahon, but a new playing group. And obviously they've had a few issues with their playing group, injuries, that kind of thing. And for them to be where they are at this point of the season's a worrying sign for them, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. But a couple of wins under the belt will get them get their confidence up. But as we said, this was a game that could have gone either way. And Redan, probably out of both clubs, needed to win this. Bacchus Marsh have won it. They're well and truly right in the mix of playing off in the finals. Lake Windaree, probably as expected, took down Melton, but Melton really did take the game up to them, going down by just 16 goals.
Yeah, 16 goals for Melton's probably a big effort, probably a bit closer than what I expected, certainly what you expected as well.
Yep.
So for them to get within 16 goals of what I think is a premiership favourite almost behind Sunbury is a huge credit to them. Obviously, they're doing everything right, and we know it's going to be a long year for them because they're in that development phase, but they'll certainly take plenty of positives out of that match.
And I think something out of that their next few weeks, that might spur them on to give them a bit of belief that maybe they can win some games.
Yeah, well, give us some confidence to when they come up against those bottom place teams. Not necessarily that they're competing against the top end teams, but certainly they know where they've got to work on, what they've got to do in order to get those wins against the bottom place teams.
So Bass keep doing a great job, and they took down Melton South in what was a pretty close encounter.
Yeah, another one of those games where it could have gone either way, and probably both teams needed to win to keep their finals alive. So Bass stay within reach of that top group, where Melton South just fall back a little bit further below.
Yeah.
They've got their 2 wins on the board, but it's hard to see Melton South beating a team that's higher placed on the ladder.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for them just in terms of being able to just get their core group together, and we know Redan had a changeover in playing list over the course of the summer, and we're starting to see the impacts of that now, but that they might rally towards the end of the season, and probably for the likes of Redan and South, of their finals start to slip away, they'll be looking to try and win games against teams who are trying to fight for places in the top 5.
Yeah, it becomes more about ruining everyone else's hopes and dreams than actually working towards any of your own. So again, it's something to play for those clubs, and it might be a good stepping stone for their development for next season.
Exactly right, and a game that we expected to go the distance, and it delivered on all counts. We had East Point edging out North Ballarat City by 3 goals. Like the senior footy, there was only a point separating the two sides, or a goal in this case at three-quarter time, and East Point shot away to win by 3.
Yeah, it's always really exciting when these teams come up against each other. It's a high standard of netball, and even though the conditions weren't great, the netball was certainly a spectacular scene. So really, really good for both teams. I don't think North will be too disappointed in it. A game that's only 3 goals is neither here nor there for them. It's knowing that they compete with those stronger teams, and their younger players just continue to develop under Annie McCartan at North, so they'll certainly be around the mark come finals time, and really good for East Point too to know that they're still at that top of their game with those new players, and they've certainly done some development over the off-season as well, so it's good for them as well.
I think City might be a little bit disappointed. They were up at half-time and probably couldn't go on with the job in that third term, and that's where East Point come out firing there. So hopefully they can learn a few things from that. The last game we'll have a look at, Sunbury Lions, too strong for Ballarat, who showed a lot of fight in the contest.
Yeah, Ballarat are another one of those teams where they're developing. They're a little bit more into their development phase than what sort of the Melton and Redan are at this stage. But Ballarat certainly got some young players there that know what they're doing, and for them to match it with Sunbury is a huge credit to them. Sunbury are obviously a powerhouse team, and they're very hard to feed on any given day. So we expected Sunbury to win. They won, but we're certainly not too disgraced Ballarat on the way.
Exactly. It seems like that win over Redan the previous week just sort of gave them that little bit of confidence, and we see that with any of these teams here who are sort of struggling down the bottom. Just one win under their belt can really fire them up a little bit. And it is a really good confidence thing, because they played some great netball against Redan the previous week, and no doubt that was a key factor in how they played against Sunbury.
Yeah, it certainly is. Confidence is a big thing no matter what sport you're playing, and especially in outdoor conditions where it's going to go your way some weeks and it's not going to go your way others. So confidence is huge, and even though the ladders kind of suggest otherwise, the competition's very even at the minute, and anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
Exactly. As we turn our attention to round 9 of competition, and we've got Bacchus Marsh and Sunbury Lions. This is going to be a really good game to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a really, really good game to watch. I think Sunbury will still get the job done. Like we say every week, until they give us a reason to tip against them, I'm not gonna. But Bacchus Marsh are obviously doing everything right at this stage, and they're proving that they're one of those teams to beat. But yeah, I just think Sunbury will be too strong for me. I
agree with you on that one here. An important game, a team coming off the bye who will be looking to come in with a little bit of confidence against a resurgent team. We've got Ballarat and Darley.
Yeah, I think Ballarat will be too strong in this one, especially at home. I know it's not very far to travel, but 45 minutes in the car can be some clubs' undoing, especially in the colder, terrible weather. So I think Ballarat will be too strong for Darley on the weekend. Yeah,
I'm with you on that one. Mountain South and East Point.
Yeah, this could be a bit of a percentage booster for East Ballarat, I would think. So, yeah, East Point for me, but Mountain South got some work to do, but I'd be happy for them to prove me wrong. Yeah, exactly. They might get their full team on the court, and look out, we'll see some damage. North Ballarat City and Lake Windaree in what will probably be one of the matches of the round. Yeah, 100% match of the round. Two big powerhouse clubs of Ballarat going up against each other. I think Lakers, for me, will be too strong. They've done everything right the last couple of weeks, and a bit like Sunbury, and they're hard to tip against. Ballarat have got some young up-and-coming superstars, so Lake Windaree it'd be a bit of a shootout between the young gun goalers. But Maddie Salmon is in outstanding form, but I don't think she'll be good enough to beat the Lakeless lineup. Yeah, I'm actually going to go against you in this one here. I think City, for me, I'm still convinced that they're probably a top 2 side. In my mind, I perceive that that they can still run with Sunbury Lions, and I know we've got some quality teams, but probably the top 4, we've got East Point, Lake Windaree, North Ballarat City, Sunbury Lions, and there's probably a few others in the mix, but I still think North Ballarat City on their day, extremely hard to beat, and I think the home court advantage here will just be enough to edge them out. Redan and Sebas, is there a chance that the Lions can cause a bit of an upset here? I don't think there is, to be honest, Yeendy. I think Sebas will take the points in this one and probably reasonably comfortable. I know Redan have a knack of playing their best netball against the top-end teams, and they sort of struggle against the lower-placed teams, but I think Sebastopol will be too strong. Bianca Woods is doing an outstanding job in the mid-court and links up really well with the Keane sisters, so Sebas for me.
I'm going to go Redan. Their form, while they've lost, hasn't been too bad, and I'm really big on Sebas. I think they're one of those sides. If they make finals, they will cause a lot of damage. But I think Redan, we talk about teams needing a bit of confidence. I think this is the one they can do it. Just like their senior footballers, They've lost, but they haven't played too badly, and I think Redan, maybe this will be the week where they just get it all together. I'm trying to be optimistic for them because, as you say, we've got a very close competition. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day, as you said, and I think this is going to be the week.
Yeah, well, I hope it is. Redan, they need to get some players back on the court. I know they've had some injuries throughout their mid-court especially, but if they get the players on the court, they've still got Ruby Parry in their goals. Liv Jorgensen does a really good job as well, so they've certainly got the players there. They just need those link-up players to come back in.
Certainly going to be very exciting. Round 9 of the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League A-grade netball competition is coming your way, and of course make sure you jump on Facebook on Fridays for your chance to win some movie tickets. Thanks for one of our wonderful sponsors, Grace. Thanks so much for joining us this week. We look forward to talking netball next week.
No worries, thanks for having me.